here's your conservative, but not bitter host, Todd Huff.
Well, that is right. You are listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk, and I am your host, Todd Huff. Email Todd at ToddHuffShow.com. Facebook.com/Todd Huff Show for those of you that don't watch the program live or on demand. It's good to be here. Thank you for joining us this morning. A statement from the president yesterday, I guess, last night, saying he's going to sign this COVID relief bill that's been packaged with the overall government spending bill. And I want to read this because it's interesting what the president is trying to do here. The president says this in a statement: as President of the United States, it is my responsibility to protect the people of our country from the economic devastation and hardship that was caused by, yes, as he names it, the China virus. I understand that many small businesses have been forced to close as a result of harsh actions by Democrat-run states. That is absolutely true. And we're finding, as in the state of California, that these harsh measures are not helping with the COVID numbers. In fact, I saw a chart comparing Florida and California. Of course, Florida is pretty much open for business. I mean, folks are being asked to be responsible and that sort of thing. But we are we're not seeing the same trajectory. California's numbers are skyrocketing. Florida's numbers are, from what I saw in the graph, shows that there's still an upward trend, but nowhere near. It's a flat. It's has a steady, slight increase compared to California's dramatic, almost exponential increase. So Trump is saying that these actions taken by Democrat-run states have been devastating to small businesses, and they've been forced to close. Absolutely. They've been forced to do a lot of things that haven't helped at all. But back to the statement here. Many people are back to work, Trump writes, but my job is not done until everyone is back to work. Fortunately, well, that's another statement altogether. You have to wonder. A lot of folks have just been wanting to get back to normal from this. And then there's, of course, the folks that just don't want to go back to work, folks that want to collect a paycheck and not actually do anything for that paycheck. That's living in fantasy world. Although the way that the government has navigated this crisis, it's kind of gone along with that mentality, which is whatever you need, however much money you want, you have to do nothing in return for it. Just sit tight. The government will provide. That's a dangerous, very dangerous lie that the government tells people. But nonetheless, Trump continues here. Fortunately, as a result of my work with Congress and passing the CARES Act earlier this year, we avoided another Great Depression. Under my leadership, Project Warp Speed has been a tremendous success. My administration and I developed a vaccine many years ahead of wildest expectations, and we are distributing these vaccines and others soon coming to millions of people. Pause on that point, by the way. That is a remarkable feat, what has happened here. Now, I know that there's concerns about vaccines. This vaccine. Some people don't want any vaccines. I don't want to get into any of that. I'm just saying there's concerns about it, but it is remarkable. Remember, Trump was saying back in the time leading up to Election Day that we would have a vaccine this year. At some point, he even said, I think he mentioned before Election Day. That wasn't ultimately the case, but it was darn close. It was darn close to that. And now, without any credit being given, and look, I don't think we should have to praise our leaders, but I think we should at least acknowledge that the reason that we've gotten to this point to where there are multiple vaccines that are going to be available to the American people. I mean, the frontline workers are already getting vaccines. That is a remarkable feed. I don't want to get into I know there's concerns and people have their questions, and the one individual on the television, at least one, didn't even really get a shot. Did you see that? And I don't want to get into any of that. I'm just saying that there are vaccines available. And that doesn't happen. Honestly, that would not happen without President Trump to have those vaccines available that quickly. This honestly is what happens when someone from the outside comes in. I don't even think people inside government think in terms like this. President Trump is used to working in a situation, in an environment where he has to figure out a way to get things done. Government is not that. In fact, government is often rewarded for identifying problems that exist and then saying, elect me to fix those problems. Elect me to fix those problems. And of course, the problems never get fixed, because the trick is to go back out the next time and campaign again and saying, I didn't have enough time or money or support in Congress to really do what needed to be done. Now I know. I've learned some things, so elect me again, and I'll go fix this for you. Whatever the issue is in Congress, this happens on both sides of the aisle, and it's maddening to me. They find out the things that matter the most to their constituents. They perpetually campaign on these issues, and they never get anything done. Ever. Never get anything done. I will say this, the only thing they do get done is they move this country further left. They they create scenarios or solutions that always say the government has the solution to your problem. That's what they create. They create this dependency, this mindset, more deficit spending and national debt. I don't even want to get into that. What do we have, $30 trillion now? Just incredible what we're talking. I mean, no one cares about this anymore. It's just a figure that, they're just going to continue to ramp up. And of course, we're looking at spending more money, because I want to get back to Trump's statement here. What he says, he says, I'm going to sign these, the stimulus and the spending bill, with the caveat. And I want to get into what Trump is saying here. Trump continues, as president, I've told Congress that I want far less wasteful spending and more money going to the American people in the form of $2,000 checks per adult and $600 per child. So that means a family of four would get $5,200 if they qualify for the stimulus. As president, I am demanding many rescissions under the Impoundment Control Act of 1974. Now, this is one I want to sink our roots in just for a bit here this morning. The act provides that, this is Trump writing, or Trump's team writing, whenever the president determines that all or part of any budget authority will not be required to carry out the full objectives or scope of programs for which it is provided, or that such budget authority should be rescinded for fiscal or policy or other reasons, including termination of authorized projects or activities for which budget authority has been provided, the president shall transmit to both houses of Congress a special message. That's an end quote, but he continues here, describing the amount to be reserved, the relevant accounts, the reasons for the rescission, and the economic effects of the rescission. Then he cites the U.S. Code here where that is found. So he continues, he goes on to say, I will sign the omnibus and COVID package with a strong message that makes clear to Congress that wasteful items need to be removed. I will send back to Congress a redlined version, item by item, accompanied by the formal rescission request to Congress, insisting that those funds be removed from the bill. So basically what Trump is saying is, look, I'm going to sign this stuff. It's ridiculous that this has taken this long, right? We've had Congress that has been talking about this, debating this, playing political games with this primarily since the summer. And I think it's clear that the Democrats, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, especially Pelosi, given that she's in control of the House, they decided there's no way on planet Earth that they are giving Trump any credit leading up to the 2020 election. Absolutely no chance whatsoever was that going to happen. So they played games with this. They played games with you, my friends. They played games with you. They promised that one day more help would be on the way, but that was not coming before November because they did not want the average American person thinking that President Trump had anything to do whatsoever with providing relief from these crazy times, and caused, by the way, by our government. Our government's response to COVID. Whatever you think of COVID, whatever you think about shutdowns and masks and all these other things, to pretend like there's no repercussions or ramifications of the actions that these governors have taken is living in fantasy world. These have had profound impacts on our economy. And by the way, a lot of the economy has bounced back in ways that even the experts, oh yes, my favorite group of people to speak about, the experts. Experts didn't see this coming. Experts said it would take, forever, basically, to get back what we had lost during COVID. And I'm not saying it's not been difficult. I'm not saying it won't be difficult. I'm not saying we're completely there. I'm saying that this has been a bounce back more in line with what Trump had projected and predicted versus what the naysayers and the so-called experts predicted. So anyway, President Trump's basically saying, we've watched these political games. You've thrown this legislation on my desk. It's ridiculous. We've got millions and billions of dollars going to everything you can imagine. Everything you can imagine. Between these two bills, it's the numbers are something like maybe 80% of it's going to somewhere outside of the United States to stimulate the American economy. Think about this. To stimulate the American economy. It's framed as a COVID relief bill, but yet we're giving money to, foreign countries. We're studying fish. We're repairing boats. I mean, all sorts of stupid things, right? This is a return to normal. This is a return to how things were before President Trump. And I just imagine the individuals, folks, that put this crap in this legislation. Who dreams this stuff up? And why? Why are we giving money to pick any country? I don't even care. Why? The ultra skeptical would say, look, it's because this is a way these individuals, these members of Congress, send money to these foreign countries that eventually gets funneled back into their pockets through other business dealings. Case in point, Hunter Biden, right? I mean, this is exactly how this is done. The idea that what Hunter Biden has done, allegedly, the idea that is something that's novel and unheard of in Washington, D.C. is a tad bit naive. This is he's one that's gotten caught. And this is the sort of behavior we've come to expect from people in politics. And so they pass this stuff boldly. I just think about, I'm thinking if I'm in that room or whatever, looking at this legislation, and they say, first of all, it's 5,500 pages. And I'm going to say, what? 5,500 pages to give the average American $600? What is that? Like a dime? What? I don't even know. It's incredible to think about that, right? To think about, is that a dime a page? Something like that for the average American. And yet most of this money is going to foreign governments. I know there's two pieces of legislation, but they've been packaged together to avoid the government shutdown, to make sure that benefits, unemployment, and all this stuff doesn't run out, and so that you can get your $600. Now they're apparently going to be looking at passing in the House today a $2,000 check. But what I'm concerned of here, and I think this is a great political move by Trump, bringing up some unheard of, part of the U.S. code to say, basically, I'm going to be redlining things that I am going to be asking Congress to rescind spending for. And I hope he does. Now, will this succeed? I mean, I don't know. What could actually end up happening is the stimulus checks go from $600 to $2,000, and then no other spending is cut from this bill because these jokers in Congress. You mean to tell me there is someone in Congress, or a majority of people in Congress, that are not going to sign this bill, or that would have a problem with passing a stimulus bill without giving money to the Sudan or to Pakistan to study gender? You stinking kidding me? I want to know who this person is. I want to know who they are. We deserve to know this. Who are these people? Because they have they are absolutely disqualified from being in Congress. Now, in another sense, they're completely qualified because this is what Congress has become, both sides of the aisle. These jokers are complete. They're a debacle. This is a disgrace to the American people, what we're seeing. Kudos to President Trump for doing this. He's basically said, I'm going to sign this. I'm going to sign this with my changes. We've got some authority here. Congress, of course, is going to fight this and say, no, you don't. Trump's going to say, we're going to redline some things. We're going to cut out this ridiculous spending to basically offset, hopefully, the difference between the $600 and the $2,000 check or whatever. But this is what's going on here in Congress. I wanted to lead with that this morning. Probably talk about this a little bit more on the other side of the break. Got some other things I want to get to as well, but time is telling me it's time to take a break. In fact, Oz has told me a couple of times, Todd, take a break. And I'm going to do that right now. So sit tight. We'll come back and continue our discussion here. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I am your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
If you own a rental property, you know the hassles of marketing, renting, collecting, and the handling of maintenance and repairs. One call to Zuluscape can put an end to your property management headaches. Zuluscape has over 20 years of experience helping landlords throughout central Indiana and taking the stress out of owning a rental. From A to Z, let Zuluscape handle it all so you can enjoy owning a rental instead of hating being a landlord. Give us a call at 317-663-8485 or visit our website at Zuluscape.com.
Hi, this is Kenton with Christian Community Connect. We're a network of business professionals that are committed to living out our faith in the marketplace by preferring one another in love while serving everyone. With online listings at $27 per month, if you're a Christian in business, committed to treating others as you would want to be treated, we would love to include you. Check our reviews and sign up at ChristianCommunityConnect.com.
The compassion of Christ. It's living life connecting to the broken and messy world. It's not simply walking down the street and dropping a quarter in someone's bucket. It's been perverted by Satan from biblical compassion to feeling sorry for, and sympathy isn't where God wants us to live. It's connecting to broken people in our daily life. Living the compassion of Christ.
Our word can't be diluted because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
Hey Indianapolis, by now you've probably heard about Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group. Jody and his team are experts at helping you prepare your personal or small business tax returns. You can count on Midwest Tax Group to get every deduction possible and work for your higher refund. And not just on this year's taxes, they'll check your prior returns for any tax savings you may have missed for free. Are you behind on filing your returns? They can file past due returns and help negotiate with the IRS too. They complete most tax returns within a week and charge an affordable flat fee, no hourly billing. And as their client, you can consult with the team at Midwest Tax Group year-round at no charge. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and Greenfield, with evening and weekend appointments available. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260. That's 317-288-5260. Or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com. Midwest Tax Group can help you more than any piece of software ever could.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time 26% tax credit and begin cutting your heating and cooling bills immediately. Visit indianageothermal.com/info to get your free Climate Master information kit or call 317-829-1490. Visit indianageothermal.com/info or call 317-829-1490. Geothermal, it's cheaper than you think.
Welcome back. Oz and I talking over the break. She's asking me, so what does this mean? I mean, folks, I don't know, right? Congress has the authority to spend money. That is what Congress, the House in particular, of course, it has to be approved by the Senate, but spending bills are supposed to be, originate in the House of Representatives, the people's house. These are the folks that are supposed to be most closely associated with the individual American taxpayer, the individual voter. By the way, I should add that at one point in time, many of you know this, some of you may not, that senators were actually elected by the state legislatures of your individual state. So senators were elected to represent the state, and they were basically held accountable by the elected representatives we had put in charge of our states. And then the Congress, the House of Representatives, was elected by the individual, we would vote directly for them. That was changed through a constitutional amendment. Anyway, so Congress has the authority to spend money. The president has the authority to execute the law. And as I understand this, and this may be a stretch, I'm not saying I'm not saying that any of this is going to actually amount to a hill of beans. But President Trump, as I understand it, is effectively saying, look, my job is to tell you, you've passed a bill or a couple of bills that I'm going to sign, but I'm going to use this 1974 Impoundment Control Act to say all the money that's been assigned here is really not necessary for the purpose and the intention of the objective of these two bills. And so for those things that are not instrumental or necessary, I'm going to impound those funds. And there's a technical, look, this is all new. It's not to be confused with line item veto. Line item veto is this idea that the president should be able to veto parts of a bill, and not all of the bill. So he can sign a bill into law. That's not something that the president has the power to do, but this has been debated before, giving the president line item veto powers so he could sign the bill into law, but actually go through line by line and say, I don't like this part. There's some I know there's appealing things about that to some people in this environment, but there's also some terrifying things about that. To think about, a radical leftist being in control and some piece of legislation passing Congress, and then everything is gutted but the most radical aspects of a piece of legislation or some such thing. Anyway, this is not to be confused and conflated with that. This is something that says, hey, you've signed a bill with stated objectives of X. These funds are not all necessary to achieve those ends, and so I'm going to impound this money because we don't need to spend it, right? So it's an interesting approach. I don't know what will happen. I don't know. I'm not saying that this will make any difference. If nothing else, as I was telling Oz here, it at least gives the president the platform to really expose these jokers. Remember, the folks, some folks voted against this, but there's a lot of folks who jumped on board with this. I'm just going to read. This is just some things that are in this COVID relief bill. You may have seen that there's another $40 million designated for the Kennedy Center. There's $86 million for Cambodia. There's $130 million that's going to Nepal, $135 million that's going to Burma, $453 million that's going to Ukraine. Probably going to end up in Hunter Biden's pocket somewhere. I'm kidding, not kidding, allegedly. $700 million to Sudan. Palestinian economic aid, $250 million. Just some racetrack safety program for horse racing. I mean, the stuff in here is astonishing. The pork in here, and this is what's wrong with Washington D.C. And again, who puts this stuff in here? I mean, we know who puts it in there. Maybe not the name specifically of the individual, but we know the person, right? We know this game that is being played. At one point, the pork was put in there to appease constituents back in home states and home districts. Look, I got you money for this, economic development or, some sort of a tax break for something that we manufacture in this particular community or whatever, right? We got this bonus, and you go back and everybody pats you on the back. And it sounds great on one hand until you realize someone else is paying for that. And all these folks do this. Well, most of them do this. And at a great cost. At a great cost. We're now $30 trillion in debt. $30 trillion. Write that number out, by the way. It's astonishing to just look at that number and think about what that really represents. Anyway, if nothing else, this has given Trump the spotlight, the bully pulpit, the podium to really highlight what's wrong with this. And just remember, look up and see if your representative voted for this. Your senator voted for this. And then ask yourself, is your senator, your representative passing this sort of legislation with, again, remember that this 5,500 page bill had to be voted on in less than, hours or some such thing. They don't even know what's in these bills, folks. It's a travesty. And remember, they had months to put this together. Months. They didn't do it. Congress is truly a reprehensible bunch. And my number of people in Congress, in my mind, that I think are trying to do the right thing or trying to fix this, it dwindles by the day. It dwindles. Senators, same thing. Dwindles by the day. I don't know how many folks are really there to truly take care of the American people. And what's this? Why? Why are we sending money? Why does Nepal need $130 million in this? Not to pick on Nepal, Cambodia, Sudan. Why? Why is this necessary? Where is this money ending up? Are we wrong for asking the question that this money might be ending up in the pockets of these congressmen and say, I can see the look of shock on their face whenever I utter that question. It seems like a very reasonable question to me. Why on earth? Why on earth are we spending money that we don't have for these purposes? I need someone to explain to me what the American interests in Cambodia, Nepal, Ukraine, I need to understand what that is. We don't even have that conversation. It's just packed in here. You're not supposed to see this. All you're supposed to see is I get $600. That's what they wanted. 5,500 page bill. You get $600. Don't ask about anything else in it. It's remarkable. It truly is. These folks are, I lose the words sometimes to describe what we're dealing with. These folks don't have your interest in mind. They don't. This is not in your interest. This is not in anyone's interest except possibly theirs. Or some constituent group back home so that they get reelected. It's the same stinking thing all over again. Remember, President Trump was elected to really, in part, as kind of a protest against this sort of stuff. And they believe he's headed out the door here. They believe that they've stolen this election, and now they're going to start partying it up again in Washington, D.C. And representatives and senators from both sides of the aisle have their fingerprints all over this nonsense. And I've got to take a break. I want to talk a little bit about Nashville, this Nashville bombing that happened on Christmas Day, Christmas morning when we get back. it opens up a whole can of worms. I know some of you that there's some all sorts of theories and stuff about. I just want to talk about it when we get back. So sit tight. We'll shift gears when we return. See you in just a minute.
Is it possible to be a fan of the show if you don't have the gear to prove it? Why not be safe and remove all doubt? Shop for official merchandise at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
Did you know that there are 21,000 chimney fires annually? It's one of the reasons why it's so important to have a CSIA certified chimney technician clean and inspect your chimney every year. Keep your family safe by joining our 3-year sweep and inspection plan. And mention Todd to be entered to win $1,000 in cash. Contact Smalling Masonry, a Christian-owned business, at 317-903-8121 to learn more today.
Have you seen the price of custom cabinetry and countertops lately? If you're looking for quality, affordable remodels, call Carriage House Woodworking. Our helpful professionals will walk you through every step of the process. We're offering a free sink base with qualifying purchases. Just enter CHWEINC.com/Todd or call 317-406-3042. Call Carriage House Woodworking. You won't have to spend your kids' inheritance just to upgrade your kitchen.
Why would you call a company called Commercial Service for your home heating, cooling, and plumbing? Same question I had, because they have provided over 70 years of quality service and Trane products for both homes and businesses in Central Indiana. It's hard to stop Commercial Service, and it's hard to stop a Trane. Give them a call. I'm glad I did.
Call Commercial Service at 812-339-9114 or online at commercialservice.com. Commercial Service, commercial-grade service for your home.
Are you tired of manually opening the gate every time you pull in the drive, especially during the freezing cold, pouring rain, or hot, humid weather? Then Gatekeeper Services has your solution. They offer affordable residential and commercial motorized units for your gated properties. Veteran-owned with over 50 years' experience in motorized gate sales and repairs on any make or model, and with numerous entry control options, Gatekeeper Services takes pride being certified in both automated gate system design and operator installation. Simplify your life today by calling 317-714-4061.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the healthcare they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
You rely on your vehicle every day. It's not a member of the family, but you spend as much time with it as most family members. You wouldn't take your family to just any doctor, so don't trust your vehicle to just any repair service. At Raymond's Auto and Truck Repair in Plainfield, we have well-trained, caring technicians that have the expertise to get you back on the road. For 25 years, we've been servicing personal, commercial, and fleet vehicles. Give us a call at 317-838-7112 for the car service you deserve.
Hey Indy, Sid here with Kill a Dent Removal. We specialize in a paint-free repair process known as PDR. Our certified master technicians remove dents and dings of all shapes and sizes, including hail damage, with 0 body fillers, 0 painting, and 0 diminished value. Most repairs are completed the same day, many even while you wait. Check us out at killadentremoval.com. And remember, folks, don't paint your car, go PDR.
Family owned since 1973, Edwards Equipment at 1375 East Main Street in Danville is ready to meet your equipment needs by selling, renting, and servicing several makes and models of lightweight residential or heavy-duty commercial equipment. We carry and service top-name brands like Ferris, Kubota, Steel, Gravely, Honda Power, Land Pride, and more. Visit edwardstractor.com or call 317-745-6427 to check out our clearance specials today. At Edwards Equipment, we don't just sell you any piece of equipment, we sell you the right piece of equipment.
Welcome back. So, Christmas morning, 6:30 a.m. Central Time, Nashville, downtown Nashville, Tennessee. And actually in front of a building at 166 2nd Avenue North. An RV is alleged to have exploded with, it was set up to be basically a bomb. As I'm looking here on Newsmax now of the footage, it's incredible. It's incredible. I feel like this is the same part of town. My wife and I went there a couple of years ago, and I think it's really close to where we had stayed in Nashville. But anyway, there was an explosion. Before the explosion, there was an audio warning that was playing from, I guess, from the RV. It was saying, if you can hear the sound of my voice, please evacuate the area immediately. According to reports, this was going on for 15 minutes. There's also reports of gunfire, gunshots before this. Some people think it was part of the audio that was recorded in the vehicle, in the RV. The RV detonates. I mean, massive explosion, right? Massive explosion. Just a couple of injuries. I don't believe anyone was killed in this blast, but it looks incredible, the damage. Nashville mayor's out there laughing, saying hopefully we don't have another explosion in Nashville today. Did you see that, by the way? There are all sorts of ancillary little side stories to this. But anyhow, so we've got all this taking place, and now that's what they tell us. That's what the facts are. You see people saying that they've heard other explosions. You heard people say that the gunfire they believe was other explosions. The other thing was it's outside or targeting, they believe, the AT&T building. And now you get into some theories that people have, which run the gamut. And I don't even want to get into any of these. This is almost the default starting point of a conversation when something like this happens today. Something like this happens and there's immediately all sorts of speculation, what some would call conspiracy theories, that begin to arise from this because of a lot of reasons. Some people have a natural inclination to want to believe these things. Some people have so much distrust for the media and our politicians, which to me, that you want to find out the problem here. The reason that there's all these theories, let's say that what they're telling us is absolutely true. The reason people don't believe it is because these folks that are telling us these things have a history of not being believable. They have a history of lying to the American people about any number of things, especially when we're looking at the media. My goodness, the media acts as though, for just one example, they act as though nothing happened that we should even be remotely concerned with in the 2020 election. Nothing happened. There's been no evidence to prove, right, that any voter fraud took place. Nothing to suggest, they say. In fact, they're amazed. In fact, they tell you that the real danger here is President Trump. President Trump is using this to create a bunch of upset people to overturn the election, to flip the election results. That's what they tell you. That's what they want you to believe. They don't give you any of the details, any of the things that people like me and you are concerned with. They don't do that. And then when something like this comes along, you have people telling us, well, did you know that the reason someone would target this AT&T building, and they say things like, well, they've been responsible for auditing the machines, or they're overseeing part of Georgia. AT&T has a contract with the Patriot Act and all these sorts of things. You can find all sorts of rabbit holes, and some are rabbit holes. Who knows what others are? You can find all these things on social media. But I just wanted to mention this and point out the reason that no one believes what we're being told is because this nation is being run by a bunch of liars, professional deceivers in the media, professional deceivers in politics. Just let that sink in. We have something as clear cut, so it should be. What happened? Just tell us what happened. And maybe they are. I don't know. Who knows anymore? I'm simply saying that the reason that we can't believe this is because they are not trustworthy. They are not believable. Just like with this legislation that we talked about the first half of the program. The legislation that is being put together, the legislation that has been passed, the legislation that President Trump says he's going to sign, while also citing this 1974 Impoundment Act, is that we have a bunch of money going to places that have no business getting any money from this country at this point in time. Or if they do, explain it to us. Explain. Someone go on to MSNBC or CNN. Tell us why Cambodia. Tell us why Nepal, whoever, Bangladesh. Why do these folks need money from us? Why? What is the national interest here? What are we doing this for? Why do we need to study the fish in the Gulf of Mexico or wherever it is? Why? Why are we doing this? Why does the average person get $600 and we're doing all these other expenses that are what is it? When you factor every man, woman, and child getting $600, I think that comes out to around $200 billion for the 330 million people in the United States. What's the other $1 trillion for? I mean, does this compute for anybody else? But my point is, the reason there's distrust is because we've been lied to repeatedly, incessantly, nonstop, every second of our lives. And then they hire the fact checkers. That's my favorite part. They hire the fact checkers to come along and to tell you basically why what they told you the first time was right and you were wrong to believe the lie. I'm not condoning or supporting any of these theories about what's happening in Nashville. I'm just simply saying the reason that these exist is because folks in positions of power and influence and information, the folks that control that stuff, they're deceitful. They lie. And this is what you get. And I've got to take a break. Sit tight. We'll continue our talk here in just a minute.
Does your business have a plan for social media marketing? Are you reaching the right audiences through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the list goes on? Are you learning from the data? Jarbo can help. Our team doesn't just come in and tell you how to be successful. We help you execute and measure your sales and marketing efforts. Give us a call at 317-834-6560 or visit us online at jarbomarketing.com. That's jarbomarketing.com. Make social media work for you.
I want to get one more season out of my furnace or air conditioner. Have you or someone you know ever made that statement? Economy heating, air conditioning, and plumbing has heard it a lot. Did you know that furnaces and air conditioners are most likely to break down when they're under stress? That means during the hottest and coldest months of the year, like those months quickly approaching us. With winter on the horizon, now is the time to replace that old rickety unit. With 0% financing for up to 72 months and up to $600 in instant rebates, now is the time to buy. Doing great work is Economy's priority, and the satisfaction of their customers is their number one goal, guaranteed. Make your home comfortable this winter. Contact Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing today by calling 317-831-5279 or visit them at economyheatingandair.com.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
Hi, this is Caleb with Gluff Plumbing. Does your home need some plumbing updates? Gluff Plumbing is your solution. We specialize in updating old plumbing, everything from water heaters to well pumps, to underground leaks and everything that has to do with water entering and leaving the home, including water and sewer main excavations. We pride ourselves on old-fashioned customer service. Call Gluff Plumbing at 765-721-6789 or visit gluffplumbing.com. That's GLUFF plumbing.com. Call us today.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
We all know having health insurance doesn't always equal health care.
That's why at Freedom HealthWorks, we believe the key to maintaining good health is based on a straightforward, personal relationship with your physician. With our direct doctor-patient relationship model, we remove your healthcare middleman and replace him with transparent pricing and incentive to call your doctor at the first sign of illness. So if you're ready to experience real care from a doctor that really cares about you, go to freedomhealthworks.com and learn more about the benefits of our direct primary care model. Freedom HealthWorks. Be treated better.
There's a lot going on in the world today, and with so much going on, it's sometimes hard to maintain balance. Jesus said in John 16:33, "In this world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world." I'm Pastor Jeff Floyd of the Martinsville First Church of the Nazarene. To experience how life can be better with Jesus, come worship at M1 Church at 10 a.m. this Sunday, 1609 John R. Wooden Drive in Martinsville, or catch our live stream service on Facebook at M1 Church. For more information, visit m1nazarene.org. Have a great day today in Jesus.
Welcome back. So, I was thinking about something else too, and I've hit on this a little bit previously. Thinking about all the misinformation that we're subjected to each and every day. And I've said before that, back in the day, back at some point in time, the media didn't need, they didn't need fact checkers in the sense that most Americans believed them. Right? They didn't need the fact checkers. I saw this on social media. They didn't need fact checkers until we started learning the truth. That's when they needed the fact checkers. And it's the same group of people, by the way. The people that were in the dishonest media to begin with are now the people who are the independent fact checkers. Give me a break. Come on. And this works with some people. Fact checkers, Todd, that's their title. They're fact checkers. I tell you what, it's just amazing what you can get away with by a simple, something like a title. Oh, we're fact checkers. Oh, okay. Fact checkers. It's like walking into the Super Bowl, putting on a high visibility vest and an ID badge and just walking past security because they think you're supposed to be there. But of course, these folks, you've seen this done. This has been done before. Folks have been to the World Series, all these different places by doing stuff like this. Anyway, so you got that group of people, and they are beyond hope. We just have to figure out how to navigate and deal with what they're telling us. And so they created fact checkers because they couldn't be trusted. Now the fact checkers can't be trusted. And so they're trying to, that same group of people is now trying to tell us, after incessantly attacking our president for the past 4 or 5 years now, after doing that, they want us to now believe it's time for unity. And folks, I'm all for unity. I am someone that, in fact, one of the reasons I do this program, there's many, but one is because I want to see America united. But folks, in order to unify and to have this moment of coming together, it requires that we are uniting around something. And what they mean, they being the media, they being the radical left, when they say unity, they mean if you oppose what they're trying to do, shut up and get out of their way. That's what they mean. I am not in favor of that. I am not in favor of that at all. In fact, that is precisely the problem, right? We've talked about problems today with the media, with the government. The reason we're in these places that we're at is because, well, candidly, we've allowed these jokers to kind of do whatever they want without any accountability. So I'm all for unity, but we have to be uniting around something. And this is where I have a little bit of hope, because I do believe the vast majority of Americans are not radical leftist. The vast majority of Americans are free market capitalists. The vast majority of Americans do love this country as founded, those principles. We just have to find a way. We have to find a way to let them know that it's those principles and values are under assault by the radical left. It's obvious as the noonday sun to you and I, but to them, some folks need a little bit of help. I got to take a break here, come back and wrap up. But unity is important, but we got to be unifying around the right thing, and that's not the liberal agenda. Back here in just a minute.
Like what you hear on Todd's show? Why not get more by signing up for Todd's free Semi-Sweet Morsels of Truth newsletter. To subscribe, visit toddhuffshow.com/subscribe or text HUFF to 31996.
Hunting, fishing, bows, guns, ammo, safes, and more. The Outdoorsman Sports Shop in Greenwood has all the gear you need for your outdoor experience. We have a huge selection of brands that other shops don't carry, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to answer all your outdoor adventure questions. At Outdoorsman Sports Shop in Greenwood, you can even hone your archery skills at our indoor shooting range. Find us online at outdoorsmansportshop.com. So get outdoors, but bring the right gear.
All your life, you've planned and taken care of the people you love. They always knew you had a plan. Taking care of your final wishes will give them one final gift. Buying your headstones direct through Thomas Monument saves your loved ones additional stress during a difficult time and saves money by cutting out the middleman. Call 317-244-6525 or go online to thomasmonument.com to understand why families have trusted us since 1962.
Hey Indy, Sid here with Kill a Dent Removal. We specialize in a paint-free repair process known as PDR. Our certified master technicians remove dents and dings of all shapes and sizes, including hail damage, with zero body fillers, zero painting, and zero diminished value. Most repairs are completed the same day, many even while you wait. Check us out at killadentremoval.com. And remember, folks, don't paint your car, go PDR.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200 $300.
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, F-R-E-I-J-E, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freege, owner and lead auctioneer at Freege & Freege Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
Did you know that there are 21,000 chimney fires annually? It's one of the reasons why it's so important to have a CSIA certified chimney technician clean and inspect your chimney every year. Keep your family safe by joining our 3-year sweep and inspection plan. And mention Todd to be entered to win $1,000 in cash. Contact Smalling Masonry, a Christian-owned business, at 317-903-8121 to learn more today.
Need to refresh or renovate your commercial space? Call Interior Construction Services today, providing the highest level of quality construction at a competitive price. Our service-minded team is here to deliver the detail-oriented environment you're looking to create, on time and on budget. Call us at 317-991-4660 or visit us online at interiorconstruct.com. Interior Construction Services. Progressive, productive, professional.
Another example of what I'm talking about. Fauci here. I saw this over the weekend. Fauci said that he's moving the goalposts. He says this. He's moving the goalposts. Remember, Fauci's the same one who originally told us that wearing masks were largely symbolic. He said this. I know folks don't believe this. You can find this pretty easily. You might have to go to DuckDuckGo instead of Google, but it's there. And then he went on to tell us that the reason he said that was because there weren't enough masks for everybody, so why not lie to them? Now he's telling us he's moving the goalposts on what herd immunity is for COVID. Now saying, really, it's 75 to 80%. I don't know how anybody trusts this guy anymore. I gotta go, guys. Have a great day. Thanks for listening. SDGC tomorrow. Take care.
Are you concerned about your investments? Intrepid Financial has been educating, customizing, and servicing Hoosier investment portfolios since 1998. Our family-owned and operated business builds strong bonds with our clients. When you call, we answer the phone, always ready to walk you through your investment strategy. Intrepid means without fear. We want our clients to be fearless, to feel secure with their investments. Give us a call at 317-818-1776 or visit us online at intrepidfinancial.com.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have the opportunity to work with a company that fully embraces and shares these values, I'm sure you jump at it. Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is just that type of company in Central Indiana. Jeff and Jod Woods have a team of professional technicians here to help tune up your furnace or install a quality new train system. And they're also here to fix those nasty plumbing problems that seem to happen at the absolute worst time. So the next time you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling need, give the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing a call. Call 317-831-5279. That's 317-831-5279, or visit economyheatingandair.com.
Corn Homes is expanding their 55-plus community. Briar Creek is the only senior manufactured home community in Indianapolis featuring Indiana-built homes. Floor plans and finishes starting at $75,000. Enjoy affordable, low-maintenance lifestyle with the charm of a residential neighborhood. Located minutes from I-465 in Fort Harrison State Park. Corn Homes, family-owned and operated since 1955. Check us out at COHRONhomes.com. Mention the Todd Huff Show and receive a $1,000 discount on your new home.